All right, let's do a quick mic check here. Okay, looks like the mic is working. Hey, Heather, happy Easter, or 420 as well to you too. Hey, Des, welcome. How you doing? My streaming software is being really weird today. I don't know what's going on. Oh, YouTube, it's saying that I've been live for like an hour. I don't understand why, but okay. All right, 1 minute. So I am in the middle of cleaning my room, my studio space, which is great because it really needs it. Um, However, that means that my studio is in utter disarray at the moment. Oh, I did not pop chat out 1 second. I can't even see my messages right now. Chat, I'm completely blind. Martial Law Day? Not familiar with that one. Okay, chat, now I can see you. All right, let's get the cameras on. Um, Said, let's get the cameras on. Uh, hey, there we go. This says it's 90 days since the US presidential inauguration, which means it's the first day he is legally able to declare martial law if he decides there's an imminent threat. Okay. From within or out. I see. Yeah, I don't foresee that happening, but I could be wrong. So, this is kind of unrelated to the painting I'm working on at the moment. But these are pieces from my, what's it called? I think I've talked about this before. My French easel that's really rickety, so I'm repurposing them. I'm building a plein air easel that I can take with me. So that's part of it. And then what I've been doing all day is cutting wood and sanding wood and getting things ready so I can have like a what's it called? A a wet panel carrier and um, a what's it called? A pallet that I can take with me and so on. Just been busy. And like I said, I'm fixing up my room, and for me that involves making a huge mess and then cleaning up the mess, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but apparently it's very common uh, for some people to do that. That says I'm putting base coats on 4 canvases, gridding and sketching. Nice. I don't know that I have the patience to do gridding and stuff like that anymore. I suppose like for the right project, I might do that. Like if I'm, I don't know, working on something very complicated, I might go back to doing stuff like that. Um, there's nothing wrong with it. To be clear, I'm not saying anything. It's more just a personal preference on like the process of, the experience of painting and what that feels like and so on. But yeah, I don't know. I yeah. Like it totally makes sense, Um, and it's probably faster ultimately. Like it's one of those things where you work slow, but it's what is it? I forget. There's a way of phrasing it, but uh I just heard it in a book. It was a military thing, but I don't know if it's really a real military thing. It's just what they were saying in the book, but it was like steady is slow, slow is fast or something like that, whatever. But yeah, like sometimes being very methodical about everything is uh even though it feels slower, it's actually faster. All right, let's show the painting since so I didn't finish this painting on Thursday because oh, that's lovely. Um, okay, there we go. So I was working on this painting uh and I didn't finish it because I ran into a problem where which I haven't really run into all that much, but I couldn't see uh I literally couldn't see what I was doing because of the glare. And that's not a problem that I normally have. Um, because of how I position my light source and everything, but for whatever reason, I could not see what I was doing half the time. It was very frustrating. This says I have to work on 4 at a time, so I need some kind of method that's reliable. Feel that? Um, Well, that didn't work as I expected it to. Why? 3D transform, let's go. Oh, it does. I totally get it that it's more about like how it feels for you. It has nothing to do with definitely has nothing to do with like your skill level or anything like that. It's just whatever you're comfortable with, really. a lot of times I do certain things while I'm painting that are they're just for my brain to, you know, to make it so that I understand what I'm doing. Like there's no other purpose. I could totally, like do it faster if I did it, differently. But my brain is like, nope, I need this. So I have to just do it the hard way or the slow way or whatever sometimes. All right, there we go. Now it's centered. But yeah, it was really weird because usually um, I associate glare because of the angle of my light being up here and close to my, like, not far from my painting. I associate glare with being like if I'm below eye level, like if the painting is, or sorry, if the painting is above eye level, I get glare. Here it is quite a bit below my eye level, and I'm still getting glare to the point where like I would put down paint and I could not tell what color I was putting down because all I would see is glare. So I just stopped and it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll let it dry and then I'll come back to it on Sunday and try and, finish it on Sunday. So that's the goal today. All right, 1 second. I forgot to put this in the computer for reference. Let me do that real quick. Anyways, so I don't know if any of you celebrate, what's it called? Easter. I do not. So for me, it's just another day, but what did you all do for Easter? Anything special? And if you celebrated 420 and you want to share, just be aware that this is a public thing, regardless of how you may feel about it or I may feel about it. Oh, that's strange. Okay. Some of the things I did apparently um, aren't in the right place, but it's very strange because I had used the same technique earlier. So I don't know what happened there. Oh well. Oh well, we'll fix that. I wish in OBS there was a better way of editing the like colors, because like I want to bump up the darks but not increase the lights so much, because right now everything that's light is like completely blown out, but the dark areas are so dark. All right, let's get the palette out. The real question is, do I need to scrape my entire palette? Let's find out. I do not. A lot of it's still wet. Yay. That makes me happy. And brushes, I suppose I need those. I don't know if I'll do this for the next painting, because I don't know that that I have the time or whatever, but I really, really, really want to start using my interference paints. So, maybe next painting will be with interference paints. We'll see. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that because I don't know that I can, like, they're so weird and I'm so new at them that I don't know if the like what the results will be. But I really, really want to use them. For anyone who isn't familiar with interference paints are paints that um, they have mica flakes in them, which are these, I don't know what exactly they are, but they're like flakes of something that reflect light, basically. So it's kind of like glittery paint, but it functions different than just glitter the way that they work. So it interferes with the light wavelengths and only reflects one type of wavelength, and so it creates some really interesting effects. Also, instead of subtractive mixing, it's additive mixing, bit like light because you're using light to mix, which is really, really strange. But it's also very limited because it's not like real light. So you can't just, I don't think I could do a whole painting with it. It's kind of going to have to be like spot treatment type of thing. I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty. All right, now let's see what needs to be done here. I think I'm just going to start off by doing like minor corrections and move on from there. That says I have snoring dogs around me, but they've been bugging me all day. Well, sounds like the perfect time to start bugging them. If my cats bug me too much in the morning or something and wake me up a lot, um, then throughout the day while they're napping, I start waking them up more. Oh shoot, before I do this, I just realized I should oil out. That's why it feels so dry. Can I oil out? This is a little, ooh, I don't know if I can oil out. I just rubbed off some paint. I don't know if let's try it out. But yeah, if my cats bug me too much, waking me up and stuff, now I start returning the favor. Not to be mean, of course. It's just that way, if I interrupt their sleep a lot, they will then sleep more at night or in the morning when when I need them to. Ooh, some of this is still like not 100% dry, so this oiling out is kind of re-wetting it a little. We'll see, this might end up a disaster. All right, let's try this again. I just realized the other day that I have quite a few paintings that I started and never finished that I already knew. Some of them are like on the I still want to finish it. Some of them are I've kind of given up on ever finishing them. Um, we'll see. Uh, but no, the reason I mention it is there's one painting I forgot about that is like all gridded up and it's halfway. I wouldn't even say halfway finished, but it's in the early stages. And I like the painting. I just don't know that I like the concept of the painting. However, there's definitely things I would do differently now if I started it now. And the approach would be very different. So I don't know what to do if I'm going to just leave it and, you know, I can prime the back of the panel and use it and just leave that there or uh, try and finish it. I don't know. Kind of on the fence about it. But yeah, I do find it, I don't know about all of you, but I find it very hard to go back to a painting if I've left it for too long. So a lot of these paintings that, even the ones I want to get back to, I don't know that I ever will. Because if I left it for too long, uh, a lot of times I just don't feel that I can go back to it. One of the interesting things when working on with Photoshop, using it to like overlay your reference and everything, depending on the angle that you take the photo, the painting looks wildly different because all the landmarks of like the paint texture is completely different depending on the lighting. To make it very hard to find your way through it. Alrighty. Now let's see if I can adjust some of these features around a little. Like, for instance, here, I see like one thing of color and another thing of color. And I look at my reference and I can see all these other marks that I can't even see because of the lighting difference. It's crazy. And that is also one of the reasons that I love, seeing oil paintings in person versus online. If you can, of course. Plenty of paintings I wish I could see and will never get a chance to see. Ooh, some features drifted a lot. I didn't even realize. Hi, Tristan. Hi, baby boy. Oh, baby boy. Thank you. Getting close to dinner, so all the cats are going to start coming in, making rounds through my room, trying to remind me that, hey, it's dinner time. Even though it's like an hour before dinner time, they still come in early. Do you think I'm going to forget about you, Dresden? Do you think I'm going to forget to feed you? Is that why you come in? To remind me? Or are you trying to convince me to feed you early? Okay. He's so cute. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Heather says, I tried to take a nice pic of me and Z, that's her cat, but she just looks annoyed, lol. Yeah, if I did that with some of my cats, that's what it would be like too. Not Dresden, obviously, but yeah. Yep, yep. So this is a little unrelated to, well, I mean, it's related to painting, but not directly. It's photography related. But I saw this really interesting video about photography, like the technical aspects of it. Um, and it talks about how ISO um, in most cameras is fake. It's just a like it's such a weird thing to think about, but it's only for your benefit to for viewing it on screen for a mirror. We're talking mirrorless cameras. It doesn't actually change anything in the file, um, which I did not know, and it's very interesting. Unless you have dual ISO or triple ISO in your camera, then it does make a difference. Yeah, real interesting. If you like technical stuff like that, if you find, that type of thing interesting, which I do. All right. But yeah, I can try and find the video and share it on my Discord if anyone's interested. Um, like I said, it's very technical, and it has to do with like, I mean, the guy explains it very well because I am not, you know, a camera engineer or anything, so he explains it very well, but it is still somewhat technical. Hey, Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa says, hi, everyone. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. How you doing today? Great. And you? I'm doing all right. I'd hoped to be done with this painting, but I ran into some technical issues, which I might run into again. I was having excessive glare, which is not a problem that I normally uh, have an issue with, but I got to the point where I couldn't see the color I was putting down, so I just decided to just leave it, let it dry, and come back to it, but we'll see. This is weird. I almost never have glare issues because of where I position my light and everything, but yeah, it's strange. I don't know why. I'm doing good. Just trying to get ready for uh, Portrait Society and other things. Spent the day doing some woodwork stuff because I'm trying to get my plein air easel set up, built and set up, you know? Yeah. Annoying? Yeah, glare is definitely annoying. I usually, because my light is set up, you know, above my painting, and it's only like a foot out, if that, from my easel, right? So it's at a harsh angle. You can see, um, well, you can't really see the shadow. Yeah, you can't really see the shadow, but it's pretty steep angle. So usually, only time I get glare is if the painting is above my eye level, and this isn't, um, which confused me very much. Yeah, I still don't know why. Like, I don't have a solution. I'm just confused about it. But if it keeps happening, I'll try and figure out like a way to mitigate it. But yeah, like I said, usually, like when I oil out, in order to see areas that I've already oiled out, I usually have to like get on my knees underneath the painting, looking up so that I can see the glare, because otherwise I can't even tell where I oiled out. Um, but yeah. But you know, it's very minor overall. How about you? If I didn't ask, how are you doing? How was your Easter? I don't celebrate Easter, but I know a lot of people do. So how was your Easter? We celebrate bunnies and chocolate with my daughter. Nothing religious. Sure. Sounds like fun. Anything that celebrates with chocolate sounds good to me. Uh, I am a fan of chocolate. Fair enough. Yeah. I used to love all the all the different like chocolate holidays, yeah, or candy holidays, like um, you know, Halloween, uh, Easter, Valentine's Day, all of those because I was broke and I would wait till it was over and then go get the clearance candies. Stock up on, whatever, you know, Heart Reese's Pieces or whatever at a discount price. Unfortunately, I can't do that anymore for a few reasons. One, it's just not good for me. But also, most of that chocolate is not vegan friendly anymore. Or I'm vegan now, so it's not friendly for me anymore. But yeah, that says, yeah, reminded my daughter to go to the pharmacy later because it's all the markdown. It'll all be marked down severely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the vegan thing is sometimes frustrating because like situations like this where I can't, do something like that. However, the advantage is like um when there was like shortages of certain things because of like COVID or what's it called? Or whatever, the eggs or whatever it might be. A lot of times it didn't affect the vegan products at all. So it was just like, okay, whatever. Um, Vanessa asks, dark chocolate are not vegan. It depends, and it should be. It can be, but a lot of like Hershey dark chocolate is not usually because it's such um basically it's such low quality chocolate that they always add milk products to it, or dairy products to it of some kind. But like there definitely are like high end, not high end sounds like just better quality, chocolate that is dark chocolate and by virtue of being dark chocolate is vegan. But sometimes um they'll either add milk or sometimes they'll just add whey for some reason, or butter, or something like that to, I don't know, make it easier or cheaper is my assumption. But yeah, dark chocolate in theory, absolutely, without any like adjustments can be vegan. Yeah, it's one of those very frustrating things of like the modern, the modern world where like you run into all these weird things where you're just like, that, wait, what? Like the one of the best examples I have is that I was buying bread and you have to check and there was some it was like some whole wheat health bread, and it didn't have milk or butter or anything in it, but it had I think it was anchovy oil or something like that, just like in the fine print. And I was just like, why would you put this in bread of all things? Like, what in the world? Like, why are things like this sometimes? You don't even have to be vegan to not want to have like fish oil in your bread. Um, yeah, very strange sometimes. I just ever since I went vegan, I run into these things a lot more because I check labels a lot more than I used to. So yeah, just some weird stuff out there sometimes. I had something similar happen to me at a restaurant where they gave me ketchup for, it was like a steakhouse, and they gave me ketchup for my French fries that I ordered. Um, and they didn't tell me that the ketchup had anchovies mixed in, like you know, like I don't know, like there weren't chunks or anything, but like it was in the ketchup for saltiness or something. And it was just like, but I feel like you should warn people when they're about to eat something that doesn't normally have fish in it, especially because like, what if I had a fish allergy, you know? Like, come on. But yeah, Vanessa says probably to add omega-3, probably. But I mean, it should be a lot more obvious, you know, in the like on the labels too, or at the restaurant. Like it should be a lot more obvious for, especially because like allergies exist. You don't have to be vegan to be allergic to, seafood. Yeah, very strange stuff. But yeah, a lot of things add, whey to like to things that don't have it just to add protein. You know, it's so weird because when you think about it, it's like they're just trying to bump up the stats, on the list. And Vanessa says, in the last place I'll expect to find fish is in my ketchup, right? At a steakhouse that doesn't serve fish. Just like, okay. Yeah, once again, I can imagine it being very frustrating if you have like a dairy allergy or something to find all these different things where it's like, oh, this should be dairy free. Nope, they added dairy just to give it more protein. Or okay, I'm just complaining a little right now, but like this really annoyed me. I bought I went to buy some vegan uh cheese, right? So there's like a little section that has like a lot of vegan products, at the store, and I go there and I see like the vegan cheese. And right next to it I see another cheese, different brand. So I and it says on it says something along the lines of like dairy free or something like that, right? And it's like right next to the right next to the vegan cheese and amongst the other like vegan products. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so, I ended up buying that one because it was cheaper or whatever. And I get it home only to find out that it's it's like dairy free, um, or but it's not actually dairy free. It's like lactate free or something like that, but it's not dairy free. So it has dairy products in it, but not lactate or something like that or whatever. I was just like, oh, come on, people. Like, why would you put it right there? And it, it like all the marketing on it makes it sound like it's, dairy free or whatever. So just really annoyed me that one time. It's a minor thing. I'm just complaining, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, come on. It's misleading. Yes, exactly. I mean, in the long, obviously, it's very minor stuff. It would be really bad if it was like a bad allergy type of thing. Like, but yeah, I found that my brain just went from like two different thoughts to this. I found out recently that you can make tofu uh, at home, which is interesting. But I also found out that you can make the bean tofu. So you can make tofu out of like different beans or legumes. Um, so you could make it out of chickpeas, or you could make it out of uh, I don't know what else. Like I think even lentils. Yes, definitely, it was lentils. Yeah, so you can make tofu out of like all these different things. And I don't think that I don't know that there's a good reason to do it unless you happen to be allergic to soy, which is, unfortunate. But I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, it's really interesting. Yeah, Vanessa, I agree. Especially because I happen to have a friend who is allergic to soy. And so I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so interesting to know that if she wanted to, I don't think she wants to, but if she did want to, she could do that. It's just nice to know that there are these, options for people who might not know that those options exist. Because some people, unfortunately, have some extreme, food related like allergies and stuff like that. And it can really make life difficult. So yeah, it's good to know. I don't know why. I learn all kinds of random. I mean, I guess the internet helps, but yeah, I learn a ton of random stuff all the time. I need to start updating the Discord. We have a channel for recipes. I actually found a bunch of recipes I've been using. I keep forgetting to update those. I used to never cook, well, not never, but I was not much of a, like I didn't cook much, but ever since I went vegan, um, I cook more. So now I learn more recipes and learn how to do more stuff, which, honestly is a positive, I think. I wish I'd learned to cook more, earlier. I don't know if they still teach like home ec or whatever. Like, I don't think they do that anymore, but I do feel like, I don't know, I feel like they should teach people how to, like, the basics of cooking in school. I feel like that's an important skill that they probably should teach. And they can also teach food safety, which I feel like is severely lacking too. I feel like that's a practical skill that, you know, they just, I guess, assume that people will learn from their parents, but like, I don't think so. By the way, Vanessa, have you Are you still active in that painting group on Facebook? The one where people ask for advice and stuff? And out of curiosity. I keep seeing stuff there, and a lot of times I see a question that I want to answer, but it's like it's just at the wrong time. Like I'm in the middle of something or not, or whatever it is. I'm like, oh, I'll come back to this, and then I forget to. But yeah, sometimes there's some really good information for anyone who is interested in oil painting and wants to learn more, like has technical questions and stuff. It's a pretty good, uh, you know, place to hang out occasionally. And as it says, sometimes, but less and less. I can get that. I bet it becomes very repetitive after a while. People often want validation and not real answers. Oh, that's dumb. That's really not the place for that. Or it's repetitive, like you said. Yeah, yeah. That I definitely can I can see it getting repetitive very fast because I've definitely seen the same questions asked quite a few times. But I do get it. Like it's everyone's first time at some point, you know. It just it's unfortunate that they don't do a better job of like searching for it, finding the answers that are already there that answer the same thing already. Yeah, I'm getting that glare again. It's so weird. It's like I literally can't see, regardless of any angle I'm at, I can't see the color I just put down. Oh, strange. Unless I do it in this direction, which makes sense for where the light is coming from. It's just strange because I've never run into this before. Like if this was a problem that I always dealt with, okay, sure. But so weird. Um, I wanted to mention if anyone is going to the Portrait Society of America uh, this year, it's in a couple weeks. If anyone is going, uh, feel free to put that in the Discord and maybe we can meet up or, find a place to say hi during the convention or whatever. Or if you see me, feel free to just stop me and be like, "Hey, I watch your channel," or whatever. That's also an option, but you know, a little harder to do. But yeah, I don't think considering how many people are going to that thing and how many people watch my channel, I don't think it's going to be a huge overlap. So I'm not like, let's organize a group meetup, but yeah, be happy to say hi to anybody who is going, if anybody is. Teeth. They're so difficult sometimes. This says I have one more canvas to put the base coating on. I'm cold, tired, and hungry. I think I'll rest and do it and do the gridding tomorrow. Sounds good to me. Yeah, those teeth are too bright. It looks really silly right now. As I've overdone in the last few days. That's not good. It happens, but yeah, you can definitely wear yourself down. I have a tendency to overdo it. I'm one of those people though. Like I either overdo it or I don't do anything. Oh, I need to pause my recording for a minute. I have to be careful. It's kind of warm right now, and I don't pause the recordings and let the camera chill out, it will overheat. Yeah, his mouth is, this is such a challenging painting for his mouth area. It's crazy because it's in shadow, he has a mustache, he has his mouth slightly open, and he's blowing smoke out of his mouth and over his mouth through his nose. And it's from a screenshot. So, yeah, very challenging. Why make your life easy? I think that's my unofficial motto because that tends to be how I approach things. Like I almost always do a painting, and I'm like, okay, so this would be a simple painting, except for I decided to make it much harder for these reasons, you know, for no, for whatever reason. And it's just like, ugh, why do I do this to myself sometimes? Yeah, I don't have a good answer. I just have a tendency to do that. Like the images, the compositions, all that stuff that I like, I tend to do that to myself. You learn a lot though. Yeah, you do. You do. Absolutely. And when you succeed, yeah, true. It's very satisfying. Definitely. It feels really great. It does. And I do think it's also one of those things, it's probably partially because I have ADHD, but also I think artists are like that. Some artists, at least. Some artists, you know, like the repetition. I think a lot of artists like the novelty of things. So it's like once something becomes, you know, routine enough or easy enough, um, then I'm like, okay, great. I learned that. Now I'm bored. Let's do something new. Which is one of the great things about painting because there's never an end to that. Like I don't think that you can ever get to the point where there isn't something new to explore in painting. So that is one thing that's very satisfying about painting. But yeah, it does mean that like, okay, if you know, if I was if I was stacking, I don't know, I was trying to spin 3 plates on sticks. Now it's 6 plates on sticks to see if I can do it, you know? So yeah. Oh, did I mention I'm also trying to change some of the colors uh, in this painting? Like I'm trying to adjust them as well. Yeah, that's because some of the like there's aspects of this that didn't. I don't know why, either because of the color grading or the film, or maybe that's just what it looked like. But there's some things that like don't read very well because the colors are wrong. So they're not wrong, they're correct, but they don't read very well. Probably because it's just low resolution. Uh, so I'm doing that too. So yeah, just all around making my life hard. But I will not paint the polka dot pattern on his uh, tie because I don't like painting patterns. I'll do everything else that's hard. But the easy thing of painting some random polka dots on his tie, I probably won't do. Yeah, I definitely get bored. Um, like, even if a painting just takes me too long, I get bored of the painting itself, and I'm like, "Okay, I get it. I need to finish this painting, but, like, can I just move on to the next one now?" But I know some artists, they love the repetition. Like, there's some artists that will just do the same painting over and over and over again. And I realize some people might be like, "Well, you do portraits, aren't isn't that the same over and over again?" And, like, I get that, but it's not. Heather says, "My dad has been painting, bird's eye views of rocks, plants, and waters for years now." That's cool. Yeah, but some artists, like, literally will do almost the exact same painting, like, repeatedly. You know, what's interesting is, like, even paintings of the same subject often aren't the same. Like, what is it Matisse that did um, did a bunch of paintings of, like, the same area over and like, the same location repeatedly, but each time it was different and different lighting at different times of the year and so on, and so it made it, each one different. But yeah. Heather says he loves it because everyone is different and they sell quickly. But yeah, nice. Vanessa says Monet. Yeah, it's probably Monet. I get a few of them mixed up. I get names mixed up, as we know. There's also, like, isn't there? There's two painters that have nearly identical names, and we're both. Is it Monet and oh, I can't remember right now. Jeez, my brain. But yeah, there's like two painters that have nearly identical names, and they both were impressionist painters, and it drives me nuts because I get them confused all the time. For anyone who's curious why I switched from the small brush back to the large brush, um, other than wanting to paint larger areas, even though I'm back in the face, it's because um, felt like some of the structure of the painting was starting to suffer, and this is a good way of kind of unifying things back. Um, that is why. Heather says Monet and Manet. Yes, thank you. Vanessa says I don't really know them. Yes, Manet and Monet. They drive me crazy. I feel like one of them should have been obligated to change their name. Hi, Dresden. Told you they're gonna just they're little land sharks now. They just come and circle me to remind me that it's dinner time. Justin, are you getting into stuff you're not supposed to? Justin, come on, little boy. I know you want dinner. It's not time yet. You're still a little early. That is too bright. Let's knock that back a little bit. His character in this scene is also, if I remember correctly, sick. So he's a little like bloodshot, bloodshot eyes and so on. Uh, it's still such a good image. I thought it would make for a good painting. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Val Kilmer in uh, Tombstone, if I'm not mistaken. Um, which I feel like I've seen, but I don't remember if I've ever seen the full thing. It's a Western, but it is got some great cinematography. I thought it would be a bit of a different take on Val Kilmer, who often just looks, you know, well, before he got sick, he would just look like the, slick back hair, like type, kind of look the same all the time. Heather says, yeah, Doc Holliday had tuberculosis, and that's why he became a gambler and an outlaw because he couldn't work as a dentist anymore. Uh, Interesting. Heather, maybe you know. So my like part of the story is the shootout at the OK Corral, right? Um, why was it named the OK Corral? That's the thing I don't. Uh, I never. I've never seen anything written about that. I don't know if you happen to know that, but I was just curious. And part of the reason I find this interesting is because when I was in LA, when I lived in LA, um, there was a Chinese restaurant uh, called OK Chinese Food. I went there one time and accurate description. Heather says the name OK was derived from the politician Martin Van Buren's campaign slogan, initially referring to his hometown of Old Kinderhook, which was shortened to OK. Got it. Well then, thank you. That was informative. Still funny? Yes. Heather says, if it is info no one needs to know, I know it. LOL. Yeah. I'm often that person too. I know so many random stuff, and I can't even tell you what I know because it's not something that I like am aware of. It'll just be something comes up in conversation. I'll be like, oh, actually, or oh, I saw this thing on that. The thing I hate is the like I definitely have gaps in my knowledge of like very basic stuff. So it's like I'll know the most random thing, and then I won't know something that like everybody knows. I hate when that happens. I do realize I obliterated half of his nose. It's just going to be easier to put it in, you know, like just to put in some of the light parts and that's it. Heather says, same here. Ask me how taxes work. Not a clue. Ask me how Kendall's last name, what Kendall's last name is. Carson, Kenneth Carson Jr. Okay. Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure I know how taxes work. Um, the government takes money from all the people who don't have it so that the very rich people don't have to spend any of theirs. Pretty sure that's how it works. But that's interesting about Ken and random. Hi, Winnie. Meow. Indeed, meow. Hi, little girl. Got her. Oh, it's a Winnie. She does not want to be here. She wants dinner. Yeah. No. No, little girl. You came to bug me, so now you get bugged. Hey, little girl, calm down. Calm down. Shh. Yeah. Oh, she's so fluffy. I know. She is very cute, but she doesn't like being picked up and held. She also just wants dinner right now. She doesn't want attention. Okay. Oh, ha! Dresden! Meow. He's very much more tolerant and nicer. Winnie, when she gets angry, she just starts smacking whoever's near her. Dresden, do you want to paint? You don't? Okay. Hey, there's a first time. Oh, never mind. It's a spam. Thought there was a first time chatter in Twitch. Just spam. All right. So back to the painting. So that's where it's at right now. And I do think I'm going to have to end stream. Go feed the little beasties who really are really hungry because they've never eaten before in their lives, apparently. Uh, that's how they act every time it's dinner time. It's like they act as if like we've never fed them before. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it a day. But yeah, it's the painting so far. I should have it done before next stream, so next stream will be something else. We'll see. We'll see what it can be. But yeah, that is all. Uh, I don't know what else to say. Have a good rest of your what's it, Easter weekend, and have a great week next week. Yeah, that's all. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Oh yeah, have a great night. Vanessa says, have a great night. Yeah, absolutely. Heather, go feed them, babies. See you soon. Yeah. It's still not dinner time. They're still getting fed early, but you know, whatever. It's fine. Good night, everyone.